Tonight, I just wanted to kind of touch base. It's been a couple of days since I did anything, and it's because I'm watching things unfold, and things are moving pretty quickly out there. Um, at last check, it seems that we're kind of in a holding pattern. Couple of comments. Uh, Trump was completely 100% correct in what he did. Um, what he did, by the way, I did some fighting techniques when I was younger. In martial arts, I like to call that, it's called the drunken monkey. When it's, you pretend to do one thing like you're drunk and incapacitated, and that throws them off. And that's kind of what I think. There's a few ways of deception, but I like to refer to the drunken monkey, which is saying one thing and doing another, and saying the 2 weeks, and then of course he probably was, I think, already on flight, if I'm not mistaken. At least the acoustics, the timing, I think, would have allotted that it probably was already in the air. And anyway, if it wasn't, it was probably already planned to be. So hats off to Donald Trump, and this is exactly what we planned for. And uh, it's so funny. Michael Knowles, said something along the lines of this when I was a week ago, and I think I might have paraphrased this in one of my programs, but it's true. And that is, when you're young, you think the devil's behind everything, and then when you get older, you realize that people are plotting things, and when you get even older and get wiser, you realize, no, it's the devil. And it's true, there is a devil. It's an entity. It's not people. There really is an entity, the devil, and he is behind these things. And there's no doubt in my mind that he's behind this, and he is in the Iran, and anyone who convinces himself, what do they say, that the devil's biggest trick is to convince people he doesn't really exist. And up until a couple of years ago, I did not really think he existed, but boy, was I wrong. He is an entity, as the Lord is too, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes too. But yeah, no, and Trump was absolutely correct in doing this, and I do believe the devil is absolutely, and he's in these liberals that are talking about how dare we do this, and want to impeach Trump. They're absolutely agents of Satan, and I've actually met agents of Satan, and yes, they have actually admitted, when no one else is around, they will actually admit that they are agents of Satan, and they will actually say the words that yes, that they are agents of Satan. So all that saying, oh, they won't admit it, they're not really saying that. That's all lies. They will actually admit, yes, they are agents of Satan, and they will pray to Satan in front of them, and they are evil people. They're not people that are just goth, all that's teenage stuff. No, there are actually people that do pray to Satan. Yes, all that's real. Anyway, moving along. Yeah. So the thing is that we do need to stop these people, because these people do have an agenda, and the agenda is to ruin Earth, and it is absolutely in the Bible. And I've talked to these people, and they certainly do have an agenda, and it is not just some old wives' tale. It is absolutely true, and they absolutely acknowledge it, without doubt. And I will tell you also that there is God, and God is there. Let me tell you something, because this is the important reason why I got involved in this. I don't know how many people of you actually listened to me, and where I came from as far as my religious roots go, but I used to be an altar boy, and I Catholic all the way through college. I apologize, by the way. I'll try to make this quick for those who know me. And reading and all that stuff, and reading the churches from a very young age, pretty much by the time I could read. And I thought about becoming the priesthood. That didn't work out. I decided against that. Decided against that when I discovered women and beer and other things. Anyway, but I was always close to God. But anyway, a few years ago, things are really weird around me, and Well, first of all, one day I just stopped walking and went to the hospital. And about 3 weeks, the doctor sent me home, said that they have no idea what's wrong with me. I just would probably never walk again. They don't know why. And my wife at the time was Nigerian, and she called home, and people said there's something weird, and they prayed and prayed and prayed. And about 3 weeks later, I started walking again, and it was it for that for a while. And weird things started happening. I got a house, and I started seeing ghosts, and people started talking to me at night, which just started weird. I was living alone at the time, and other things started happening, and started getting haunted. And just weird things started getting worse and worse and worse. And ended up that witches started coming at night at me, and basically started getting haunted at night. Satanic things started happening, and ended up I was getting attacked at night through satanic craziness, and I started losing my mind, and it was just getting really bad. And I started fighting it off, and I was doing okay. I was doing it right. I was holding them off. At times I felt like I was slipping, but I was doing okay. My wife got some help from Nigeria, and they were doing prayers for me, and they were giving some things for me, and I was praying. But it was a hard struggle for me. This was way out of my league. I didn't know what was going on at first. I thought I was going insane, and but they were helping me, and I was doing okay for about a year or so. I was doing all right. I was going to church, and it was hard. It was hard. Then I found out where it was coming from, and I was fighting them. And long story short, it was a really hard battle. I'm cutting things really short here. They also attacked my legs again, so I couldn't walk. It was just getting really, really bad. They were entering my dreams at night. Anyway, I started slipping, though. I started slipping because they entered my dreams at night, and every time I started going to sleep, right when I started drifting away, they started going, wait, and then I started drifting away again, and they called my name, Bill, and then I started drifting away again, and then shattering glass. So I started doing this. So every time I started falling asleep, they'd wake me up. So after a couple of days, I wasn't sleeping, and I started losing it, and I knew I wasn't going to last if I can't sleep. It's one thing, and I can't go to the hospital and tell them that I'm hearing voices or that I'm seeing things. They'll lock me up. So I'm going to lose. So the one thing I did is I got on my knees, and I got just desperate, and I prayed all the time, but I just prayed, and I prayed, and I just was desperate. And that's when the Lord talked to me, and he came down, and he made a deal with me, and he said that he would take care of things. And at that time, everything just stopped. And he talked to me, and he said he would not let them bother me ever again, and they never did. And I've been praying to him ever since, and he stopped everything. And we talk occasionally about things, not like coffee talk. I mean, I don't sit down with him and talk about the Celtics or anything. Oral Roberts talked about, a few. I joke about this, but I look at this with kind of a dubious eye. But he said back in the 80s that God told him that if the parishioners didn't give him millions of dollars, that he would kill them. And then I guess he didn't raise the money fast enough. And then he said Satan came for him, and he ended up raising the money. Well, God doesn't ask me to raise money. He just tells me to do other things that are not very financially advantageous, and they're usually pretty curt. He doesn't tell me it's anything financially advantageous to me. So, oh well, I guess I get the same one that Moses, God told them to walk across the desert to free the Israelites. I'm told to go save souls, I guess. But no, that's true. And I don't have any more haunting at all. And I do talk to God, and he does tell me some things. If it helps, he doesn't tell me anything that's terribly, he tells me that there is a heaven. He does tell me that things he tells me, they're not terribly enlightening. Obviously, there's a heaven and a hell. They're physical. He tells me that. He did tell me that there's a physical body. We tend to think that there's matter and energy, and that when we die, we tend to think we're energy and we're not matter anymore. He says, no, he goes, get matter and energy, throw it out the window. We're thinking the wrong things. Don't even think that way. He says, we do have a body, but don't even think matter and energy. He said you can't. He said we can't comprehend. But he said if we have to think that way, think of it as a body. But no, don't. He said you're not even in the ballpark if you're thinking matter and energy. So we're getting a body for what it's worth. And we are getting a new heaven and hell at the end. He said we destroy heaven and hell. We're getting a brand new one. So sorry, guys. That's all I got. I got nothing else. If I get anything else, I'll share it. But I'm not really getting anything we don't really already know. I'm sure it's all in scripture. But all right. But yeah, I mean, if you guys, do me a favor. I do have a favor from you. And I'm not asking for money. I'm asking for this for you. Trust me. Do me a favor. And you can't prove it one way or the other. Get a quiet time. Just go into your room. Quietly get on your knees and just pray to God. If you want to do your traditional prayers or Our Father, go right ahead. I mean, that makes you feel better. But when you do that, don't go in such a template. Just be sincere. You can use my name if you want. And you can just say, Reverend Bill just said that I should reach out and I should just talk to you. And I just want you to know, Lord, I'm here and I want to connect with you. And this is my first step. And that's all. Just say, I'm here, Lord. And Reverend Bill wants me to connect you. And I want you to know that I'm making this first step. And just make a sincere effort. That's all I ask. Oh, and one other thing, guys. One other thing. You'll find sometimes in these old movies things, and they're probably there for a reason. And it's not a huge thing, but it is a thing. Night lights. I would recommend a night light. Okay. There's a reason. Do not have it. If you can avoid it, it's not a huge deal. I mean, if you got to be in the dark, be in the dark. But if you can avoid being in the complete dark, evil is in the dark. If you can avoid it, just a little night light, I'd recommend it. Okay. Hey, that's it for tonight. If you like this, please like, share, and subscribe. This is the Reverend Bill. Everything I told you here is true. Please come back and share. And I hope to talk to you later. Have a really great night. Bye.